In 18 minutes, something crossed our solar system at 76,600 kilometers, faster than any comet ever recorded. NASA stayed silent for 43 days. When scientists finally analyzed what was inside 3I/ATLAS, they found the impossible: pure nickel gas with absolutely no iron. These elements are cosmic twins, born together in stellar explosions, always found side by side in every celestial body. Except here. What force is breaking fundamental laws of astronomy? Or is this something not natural at all? Let's dive right in. On December 8, 2025, the C-STAR S50 telescope in Hawaii captured something that would force scientists to question everything they thought they understood. The image looked unremarkable, just a thin streak across a field of stars. But when researchers examined the data, they realized they were looking at something that violated fundamental physics. In exactly 18 minutes, 3I/ATLAS had traveled 47,600 miles through space. That's 6 Earth diameters in less time than a weather report. The angular drift measured 191.29 arcseconds, translating to 44.0 miles per second. Speed alone doesn't break physics. What broke physics was where this happened. At that distance, deep within the sun's gravitational pull, every comet ever observed slows down. Gravity bends paths, reduces velocity, pulls objects into predictable curves. This is basic orbital mechanics, proven by thousands of observations. 3I/ATLAS ignored all of it, maintaining perfect velocity as if the sun's gravity simply didn't exist. Scientists assumed equipment failure. Telescopes were recalibrated. Multiple observatories cross-referenced measurements. Every review came back with the same impossible answer. The movement was real, and physics had no explanation. What happened next made the speed anomaly look simple. Most comets stay frozen until they approach the inner solar system. Water ice needs solar heating to create the glowing tail we recognize. That happens around 3 astronomical units from the Sun, near the asteroid belt. 3I/ATLAS woke up at 6.4 astronomical units, beyond Jupiter's orbit, where temperatures drop below -200 degrees Celsius and sunlight barely reaches. At that distance, water ice should be locked solid. Yet tests detected a steady glow, confirmed night after night by ground surveys like ZTF and ATLAS. This wasn't a brief flare from impact or a surface crack. The brightness remained consistent, pointing to an ongoing internal process. When researchers calculated what could power this, water ice didn't fit. They turned to volatile compounds like carbon monoxide that vaporize in extreme cold. These materials trigger early activity in some comets, but never at this scale, never this stable, never this far out. The implication was clear. 3I/ATLAS carried materials that could only form under stellar conditions completely foreign to our Sun. This wasn't just unusual. This object was chemically alien. When the Very Large Telescope analyzed 3I/ATLAS at 3.88 astronomical units, astronomers expected familiar signatures: water vapor, carbon compounds, the usual metal traces. Instead, they found pure nickel gas in the coma. No iron, anywhere. In nature, nickel and iron are inseparable. They're forged together in supernova explosions, bonded in every meteorite, every asteroid we've studied. Finding nickel without iron is like finding hydrogen without oxygen in water. It violates fundamental composition rules. The team suspected error. They reviewed calibration data, checked atomic line databases, confirmed equipment was working perfectly. The same instruments had detected both elements in 2I/Borisov using identical methods. With 3I/ATLAS, the pattern broke. The leading theory involves nickel carbonyl, a compound that can release nickel gas while trapping iron in solids. It's chemically possible in labs, but no comet has ever shown this separation. The process would require perfect conditions sustained over millions of years. The precision is so exact that calling it natural means accepting an astronomical coincidence. As 3I/ATLAS approached Earth in late December, NASA went completely silent. No press conferences, no detailed updates, no public analysis during the most intense observation window humanity has ever had for an interstellar object. For 43 days, while telescopes worldwide tracked this anomaly, official channels offered nothing but basic trajectory data. Social media exploded. Over 700,000 posts speculating about alien technology and deliberate cover-ups. In the vacuum of information, imagination ran wild. When NASA finally spoke, the message was brief and definitive. Natural comet, known physics, case closed. But the statement raised more questions than it answered. The tone felt defensive, reminiscent of how officials handled Oumuamua in 2017, before years of debate revealed how little we actually understood. Several scientists, speaking carefully, pointed out unanswered questions. Early dismissal of Oumuamua's anomalies had limited investigation. With 3I/ATLAS, we had better instruments and longer observation time, yet the institutional response felt eerily familiar. What happened during those 43 days? What discussions occurred behind closed doors? Why did the statement feel like damage control? The trajectory presented perhaps the most troubling anomaly. 3I/ATLAS follows a hyperbolic orbit, passing through once, never returning. That confirms interstellar origin. But as it moved through the sun's gravitational field, something strange happened. Objects should slow down moving against gravity. A ball thrown up decelerates and falls. A comet approaching from deep space should show velocity reduction. 3I/ATLAS not only failed to slow consistently, in multiple measurements it accelerated slightly. The acceleration was subtle but too frequent to dismiss. Scientists explored whether outgassing could create thrust. When jets escape unevenly, they act like tiny rockets. This happens naturally on comets. But those effects are irregular and brief. The acceleration on 3I/ATLAS appeared controlled, sustained, tracking with its trajectory in ways that seemed deliberate. The rotation added more strangeness. Comets spin predictably, shaped by millions of years of solar exposure. 3I/ATLAS rotated irregularly, changing without clear cause. Rotation controls where jets form and how thrust distributes. An unstable spin amplifies anomalies, turning subtle effects into significant changes. Normal comets release material in steady streams as sunlight heats their surface. The flow increases gradually, peaks, then fades. It responds directly to solar heating. 3I/ATLAS pulsed. Jets erupted in rhythmic bursts, rising and fading in cycles that didn't match solar patterns. The pulses appeared at regular intervals, suggesting internal regulation. Researchers searched for explanations: temperature-driven cracks, subsurface pressure chambers. None fit the timing. What creates rhythm in space? Rotation can, but only with precisely positioned vents. Pressure systems can, but only with geometrically exact chambers. Both require conditions extraordinarily unlikely to occur naturally. Yet, there was the data showing regular pulses across multiple observatories. At 2.9 astronomical units, 3I/ATLAS released 40 kilograms per second, enormous for that distance. The rate suggested an object roughly 1,000 times more massive than Oumuamua. Not just faster and chemically stranger, but dramatically larger and more active. Every anomaly has some theoretical natural explanation: unusual speed from interstellar momentum, early activation from volatile composition, chemical separation through rare carbonyl formation, trajectory irregularities from complex outgassing. But we're not looking at one anomaly. We're looking at 6 major anomalies simultaneously in one object. The probability approaches the impossible. It's like flipping heads 20 times straight. Technically possible, but eventually you question the coin. 3I/ATLAS traveled faster than it should, woke where it should have stayed frozen, showed chemistry that shouldn't exist, accelerated when it should have slowed, pulsed when it should have flowed steady, and prompted silence when it should have generated excitement, each confirmed by independent observations, each verified through different methods, each unexplained by current models. The object is now heading back into deep space at the same inexplicable speed. Our observation window is closing. Whatever 3I/ATLAS actually is, we may never know. 6 confirmed anomalies. 1 object, 0 complete explanations. 3I/ATLAS moved at impossible speed through the sun's gravity, woke up where it should have stayed frozen, showed pure nickel without iron, chemistry that violates stellar formation rules, accelerated when it should have slowed, pulsed with internal rhythm, and prompted NASA's 43-day silence during the most critical observation window. We've studied thousands of comets over 150 years. We've analyzed 2 other interstellar visitors. None combined these anomalies. 3I/ATLAS stands completely alone. The safe answer is rare natural phenomenon. But when 6 statistical improbabilities happen simultaneously in one object, at what point does natural become less likely than alternatives we're hesitant to discuss? The object is gone, accelerating back into interstellar space. But the verified data remains. And the question it leaves behind is one humanity will debate for years. What just passed through our solar system? Here's what I want to know. What's your take? Natural comet with extreme conditions, or something we're not ready to admit? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis gave you new perspective, hit that like button. It helps more people discover these mysteries. Subscribe to Galactic Breaking News and turn on notifications because next week we're covering another interstellar anomaly with data that's even harder to explain. The universe is revealing things science isn't prepared for,